This video is for the PRS fans. In today's video, I'm going to be checking out a PRS collection worth just over $30,000. It features private stock, wood library, and core PRS models. So I won't hold you in suspense any longer, let's get straight into this Squealing Pig Guitars video. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Keightley, and today we're looking at a very impressive PRS collection. We have 5 guitars to go over in today's video, so it's going to be a long one. So strap yourselves in, grab some popcorn, and let's get into guitar number 1. So guys, this is guitar number 1, and it's an absolute stunner. We're starting off with a bang here. This is a PRS McCarty. On the channel, we've featured a lot of McCarty 594s, but we don't often show the PRS McCarty model, which is more of a early model with the collaboration with Ted McCarty. I believe this has the standard 25-inch scale length of a PRS, and it has the thinner body, whereas the 594 is a lot thicker and has that 24.594-inch scale length. This is a very interesting guitar. It's got a very nice flame top to it, even though it's not a 10 top, and I have to say that our friend who's lent these guitars for today's demo has cleaned this up beautifully. It's an absolute stunner. So basically the idea of today's video, I'm going to obviously tell you the model of each guitar. We're going to do a little bit of a playing demo, and then at the end of today's episode I'll tell you which one I prefer. We have some special ones, so make sure to stay tuned. But let's hear this PRS McCarty first. Starting off with a bang, that bridge pickup sounds amazing. If you can name that Santana tune, let me know in the comment section below. For me, that's like the iconic PRS tune. Really good way of testing the pickups. Let's go to a clean channel now and hear the neck pickup. This is the neck pickup in single coil mode. That was incredible. This PRS plays amazing. So guitar number 1 is definitely getting a 9 out of 10. I love this McCarthy. So let's go to guitar number 2. So now it's time for guitar number 2, and I have to say, I've never seen a PRS guitar quite like this. Not only do we have a stunning private stock finish, but we've also got a very interesting back on this guitar. Of course, this comes from the PRS private stock series, with a very high grade 2-piece quilt maple top, with an ash back, which is really interesting to see, and we have revealed binding. We have a matching headstock and an African blackwood fretboard. This is truly stunning. So let's hear it. I've got this bad boy in drop D. Let's hear this private stock. I have to say I shredded a lot there, so apologies, but this guitar is insane to play. The action is nice and low. It's got that pattern regular profile, so it's a little bit thicker, and it just plays amazing. We have the 5815 LT pickups as well, which are my favorite PRS pickups. Let's hear that neck pickup. Okay, so I've just finished playing the private stock PRS, and I have to say I'm beyond impressed with this guitar. Not only does it look incredible, and perhaps it might be a bit of a Marmite guitar, obviously being quite blingy and having a lot of cool woods and figuring and stuff like that, but for me, that aside, it's an incredibly resonant guitar. Just playing it in the room, it has a really nice kind of projection, and it has a really thick sound, and I really enjoyed playing it through the 2-rock. I also tuned it to Dad Gad at a point in the demo, and it just rang like a bell. So it's joining the 10 out of 10 category here at Squealing Pig Guitars, but without further ado, let's move on to guitar number 3. So guitar number 3 time, this is the PRS Joe Walsh signature. It looks very similar to like a PRS McCarthy 594, got a little bit of a thicker body with the belly carve, got that nice contoured heel, obviously mahogany back with this lemon finish, obviously taking inspiration from the golden era of Les Pauls. The pickups in this one are the 5815 LTs, so the same as the other ones so far, and we have that intonation bridge. So running through the two rock, let's start off with some dirty tones. So that was the Joe Wall signature from PRS. I've never played this model before, and again, I'm just very surprised at how well these PRS guitars are playing and sounding. Usually I'm not a massive fan of PRS guitars. The main thing to take away from this guitar was the rollback on the gain channel. So when I was on the lead gain, I had that really heavy, hairy distortion tone. When I rolled down the volume, you could get an almost clean tone going through it. And obviously that is kind of a tribute to the amp. That's like what the Two Rock's doing, but it doesn't necessarily happen with all guitars. In terms of visual, I'm not the biggest fan of the way that this guitar looks. I do like the figured mahogany at the back here, but for me it was the way that this guitar played and the way it was set up that sounded really good. I'm going to give this guitar an 8 out of 10. Really cool example from PRS. Let's go on to guitar number 4. Guitar number 4, this is a Wood Library Studio from PRS, and if you turn it over, it's a very stunning guitar indeed. If you know me personally, you'll know I have a slight obsession for green guitars and just green things in general. I think this looks the part. It's got kind of like gunmetal hardware, that kind of, smoked chrome look. We have a very nice, it looks like leopard print. You've got this kind of like quilty green burst with the mahogany back, which has a very nice green finish, and then we have a very highly figured flamed maple neck. In the neck in the middle we have the Narrowfield pickups, and in the back we have the 5815 LT, which is the humbuckers that are used in all of these guitars. We also have a 5-way switch and a coil split. I've heard the Studio is like one of the best studio guitars. Obviously, you know, if you were to take this into the studio, you've got so many different tones that you can play with. You basically have everything at a touch of a button. It's a bit of a Swiss Army knife. But we'll be the judge of that today. So let's plug it in, see how it sounds. So this is my first time playing a PRS Studio, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. Once again, I have to say our friend is keeping these in incredible condition. This feels like a brand new guitar, and I really like the Narrowfield pickups. I did find it a little bit too much to kind of play with, I guess. I guess with that, the coil splitting on the bridge pickup and the 5-way switch, it was just quite a lot to play around with, but obviously that's the point of this guitar. It's supposed to be like the one guitar that you own that you can use all the tones for. I thought clean-wise, it sounded incredible in that 4th position. That kind of strat tone, it replicates really nicely. These narrow fields have a heavier sound. It doesn't sound like a single coil, but it doesn't quite sound like a humbucker. It's someplace in the middle, but it is very nice for jazz chords, and I found that the scale length suited more clean styles. For the distortion parts, like the Joe Satriani parts and the Tender Surrender that I played, I really liked the sound of this bridge pickup, obviously that 58-15 pickup, but I found that the scale length being a bit bigger, I kind of was underbending slightly. I was slightly flat. Obviously, that's just something that you get used to, but when comparing it to the other guitars, I could notice that difference. But that being said, I love the look of this guitar, I love the way it plays, so I'm going to score it an 8 out of 10. Okay, so time for guitar number 5. We have the PRS DGT Semi-Hollow Edition. And I have to say, just holding this guitar in my hand, it's incredibly resonant without even being plugged in, which is a great sign for a good guitar. This is a very interesting model. Obviously, you have that nice curly maple top with the lemon kind of burst. You know, natural binding, got the mahogany back, the mahogany neck, and then that nice kind of thick neck carve. We have the moon inlays, which is different to every other model that we've had so far. So let's play it, let's see how it sounds. I'm going to start off on the coil split mode, because apparently that's kind of what this guitar is known for. So let's see what it sounds like. Cool, so that was the DGT. I have to say that this guitar is incredibly resonant, but I did find it the hardest to play out of the whole bunch. It's a little bit more stiff for some reason than the others. I did really like the tremolo though, very intact. It's very responsive, so as soon as you move this tremolo arm very, very subtly, you can see how much that's moving. It's really doing its job. Real nice resonance. I'm not a big fan of the controls. Basically, the bridge pickup is further forward in terms of the volume, and then the neck pickup volume is further back. Coil split mode sounds incredible on the clean sound, but I didn't think this guitar had too good of a distortion tone. So I'm going to give this guitar the lowest rating today, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. But we've looked at all the guitars now, so let's go to the outro of this video where I tell you my favourite guitar. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating on this video. That's just the little thumbs up button down below. Also, make sure to comment down below which was your favourite PRS model, and if you own any PRS guitars, let me know down below. Recently, this channel's been growing very quickly, so thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing and clicking the notification bell. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see where we can go as a channel. Your subscription means a lot to us. It's completely free, but it helps us out tremendously. It means we can invest more into these videos, which means bigger and better guitar videos for you. It also means we can do more vlogs outside of the studio. So my favourite guitar today was the one that I rated 10 out of 10, which was the PRS Private Stock. For me, this guitar felt and sounded the best, and looks aside, obviously it's a beautiful art piece, it actually played amazingly. And for me, a lot of private stock PRSs sometimes feel a little bit snappy, or they're normally custom 24, so I don't enjoy them as much, but this one was a double cut 594 McCarthy, and that's my favourite model from PRS. When you paired that with the very strange kind of dyes and I guess the colour combination that they went for with the white back and the blue top, it's a very stunning thing to look at, and I love the abalone inlays. Although the private stock took the first place position, the second place would definitely go to the first McCarthy I played. I thought that guitar had an incredible tone and resonance, and it was just such a joy to play. So it just goes to show you don't have to spend loads of money to get a private stock. The Cornwalls are also very nice. But that's my opinion today, guys. I'm going to give the private stock PRS a 10 out of 10, and obviously you saw all my other ratings in today's episode, but that is the king of today's episode. As I mentioned previously, make sure to leave a like rating, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new. But thank you so much for checking into this Squealing Pig Guitars episode. My name is Ben Keightley, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.